Hello, everyone. Hey, this is Jerica J. Brumfield here with you tonight with episode 5. I'm here with episode 5. Whew. Time is going by. I remember when I was just on episode 1, but we're on episode 5 tonight, and we are going to be talking about life after a breakup. I am here with my featuring guest, Miss Jasmine Thomas, tonight. And whenever you come in, just let us know where you're coming in from. Alrighty. So we are going to get started. Also, whenever you come in, just share the video as well. We are going to be doing a giveaway at the end of this broadcast. For those who have shared the video and engaged with us, we are going to be doing the giveaway for one of her books. And so if you could, to start off, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Awesome. So hello everyone. I'm really excited to be here tonight, and thank you again, Jerica, for having me on the show. I think we're going to have an amazing time. Jerica has put a lot of work into this show and building it, and I'm just happy to be here to be able to share my experiences with life after a breakup, because there are lots of people out there who have struggled with this before, and I really want to empower you all to take the time to heal yourselves. And I'm just going to share my strategies and techniques. So why should they be listening to me? I guess I need to go ahead and get to it, who I am and more about what I do. So essentially, I basically kind of got to this point of where I was in a relationship. I was ready to actually be married, and I was totally, committed, and I thought that that was the person I was going to be with for the rest of my life. You couldn't tell me anything different. Well, both of us, and I own my crap. Like, I'm not one of those people that put everything on everyone else.
Right.
I don't believe in being a victim.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of emotional childhood trauma.
Yeah.
But his was worse. And so although I was personally working through my stuff and, going to counseling and seeking help, he wasn't at that place. And so there was just this friction within the relationship to where it was the best thing that I could do was walk away from the situation, because I felt like it wasn't going to help me, and it wasn't going to help him. And I remember being in that situation where I had to make a decision, to stay or to leave. And I was typing on my computer. I pulled up a Google document, and I wrote down at the top, "You are worthy," because I felt like that relationship was not good enough for me at that point in my life, and I thought that I could have better. I thought that I could be better, and I wished the same for that person. So this isn't how sometimes people we breaking up, I'm gonna bash you for the rest of my life. No, I send nothing but love to that person, because we all, find ourselves in situations, and it's not always just the other person. Sometimes it's both of you guys.
It's both of us.
And we have to work on that and heal. But upon deciding I'm going to leave and thinking you are worthy, I wrote out an exit plan. Dealing with my finances. I wrote out my emotional plan. I started going to counseling, all those different things. And as I was sharing my story, because people were like, "Girl, when you get married?" People be nosy after you have a breakup. Because they don't see Bay on pictures.
Exactly.
And they didn't think that, they didn't know what was going on. And they were asking those questions. And I'm like, we're not getting married. I told them we broke up, and I was sharing the situation and the choice I made. And a lot of older women were like, "Oh my gosh, I wish I was that brave
to walk away."
And they had been in relationships for 20, 30 years, and their careers suck, their lives suck, their health sucks. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
And they told me this, in confidence, that they can share that with me, of course. But it's they weren't that brave. and they stayed in something and their lives are not fulfilled. They're not happy.
Yeah.
They're not at a place where I'm on the other end of that. And I feel 100 times better. I feel like I'm in a better relationship now than I was then, and it's only getting better. So that's a little bit about my background and my story of how I got to this place. So if you had
didn't you put, I know you said you was with this guy,
mm-hmm.
and you broke up. Was this on social media or anything? Did a lot of people know about this particular relationship that you was in?
Yeah, because I was getting married. It was like, that's husband. You know, like we had, it wasn't a whole lot because to be honest with you, I didn't start getting into social media until after he and I broke up.
Okay.
Because, a lot of people don't know this, but like I have a level of anxiety to where I don't like to be seen.
Okay.
I've just now kind of like brushed out of that. But we had taken pictures together. You know, everybody has seen it. They've gotten save the day, y'all. Everything. You know, they were ready to go. They were RSVPing, and it was like not happening.
I like that because you said that you were with this guy. You posted this on Facebook with engagements, the pictures, sent out invitations
mm-hmm.
and everything. And because everyone knew, you didn't decide to stay in this relationship just because everyone knew and had the
mm-hmm.
invitations. And I'm pretty sure y'all had already had things planned.
Oh, we had a whole house. We had, you know, cars. We had accounts. Like, we had everything. Mm-hmm.
A lot of people would not have walked away at that moment.
Mm-mm.
I remember I was engaged as well. I had it on Facebook. And
Wait, pause. I didn't know you was engaged, girl.
Yes. I can't believe it. But had it on Facebook, and then somebody I remember asked me, "Are you still engaged?" I'm like, "No,
mm-hmm.
I'm not." I didn't care about what the other people thought because
mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, this is your life and your future.
Right.
And if y'all not coming together equally, if y'all not
mm-hmm.
equally, then it's not going to work out anyway. So that's good that you had the bravery to be able to walk away from this particular situation. I know you said that it was not all him.
Mm-hmm.
It was you as well.
Mm-hmm.
I hear a lot of people now talking about, well, it's the woman. It's because of her that I'm single, or she tripping, or
mm-hmm.
they have the women blaming the men.
Right.
But we have to take responsibility for our own actions.
Mm-hmm.
We have to take responsibility for our own actions. And so after y'all broke up and after you called it quits, or y'all called it quits,
mm-hmm.
how were you feeling? Because getting into a relationship, you so happy and you feeling loved and you feeling like this is the person that you're going to be with for the rest of your life. And to have that cut off at a particular moment, like, how did you feel at that particular time?
Oh, that was like the lowest point of my life. Like, low. Like, other than my grandmother recently passing away and me going through like grief and emotional, you know, all that stuff. Oh, that was hard. Like,
because you had so much invested into it.
Yes. So, and, you know, I'll be very like honest and transparent. Like, I had a Jasmine Sullivan moment where I didn't want to bust the windows out. I wanted to drive that truck into the punch tray. Like, I'm not kidding, and I have to be honest, you know, about it. It was a thought. I didn't act on it, but you know, it was like really hard for me because I'm like, you know, this person, because yes, I take responsibility for myself, but there were things that person did that they know and they apologize for, you know, but like they knew was out of line. And that's why I got like that reaction where I'm like, okay, that's what you want to do, but I didn't, you know, I left it alone. So my feelings, I was feeling very low. I had moved back home.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I never wanted to do, ever.
Don't Don't nobody want to go back home.
No, like I didn't, and I didn't have to, but I was so hurt. Yeah. God said, go home. And I had to go home. I had to swallow my pride. And I'm thankful I have a great mom, you know, to where she is open and loving and wants me, you know, to go home and to feel safe and comfortable. But I would tell, girl, I was crying every night. I ain't cried at work. I wasn't going to cry at work. But I cried on the way to work. I cried leaving work. And then at that time, I was building my first business, too. So, like, I would get off work, and then I would come home and then go work in that business. And, you know, I just kept it moving, kept it going. But I was crying. Crying.
And I'm pretty sure you all that are listening can actually attest to this. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of you all have went through some type of breakup. You have went through some type of breakup. As Jasmine talking about, she was engaged. She had bank accounts with this particular person, and they broke up at a particular point. We had someone say yes. With a whole lot of S's. So yeah, like you put so much into this person thinking that they are your husband and they're going to be there in your future, and then your whole plan changes.
Yes, instantly. It was an interruption. Like a huge interruption, and it was a shock. And see, that's like, and I know you've read my book, so you know, like, as I go through the chapters, one of them is shock. I thought it was a dream, like a legit dream, because I never knew that person could act or to be like that. Like, I never imagined it, because I knew this person for so many years. You know, in college, we were actually neighbors.
Wow.
We were neighbors.
So he was definitely putting on the show.
I didn't want to say that, but yeah. Like, I don't want to, you know, because he might be watching. We are friends on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
well, hey, this is just what we go through.
Yeah.
You know, and back then, people probably, you know, he could change by now. So that was just okay. Well, anyways, I'm here with Jasmine Thomas, a business owner. She have a book called Just Walk Away, and we're talking about life after a breakup. If you have been through a breakup, I'm pretty sure you can resonate with this story pretty well. Also, please share the video if you feel like this is helpful. And also, if you feel like somebody else may need to hear this, okay? And also, give us likes and thumbs up.
I said what I said, Sharonda.
Like it's like you look back, and once you get out of something, your eyes are open. You able to see more clear. And when I got out of, I seen it beforehand, because God give us red flags beforehand. And, and we overlook those red flags.
Yes, the Holy Spirit told me don't date him.
See?
Like, I think that was 2 or 3 years before we got together. Hard-headed.
But we want to do our own thing.
Hard-headed. Let me help y'all. Don't be hard-headed.
Don't be hard-headed. Let me help y'all again. Don't be hard-headed.
Listen to the signs. Because they are there.
They're there.
Like, that is one relationship. And I share this. And it's not to bash the other person, because at the end of the day, if I loved you, I will always have love for you. Yeah. And if that person ever reached out to me, asked for help, like, I would be there for them, because I'm that person. But I do remember the exact day we had met up, and, you know, he was trying to pursue me when we were actually in college. And I told him, I said, the Holy Spirit told me I can't date you. I told him that out of my own mouth, and I knew it. But then a few years later, I was like, oh, well, you know,
it can't be that bad.
It looks good. You know, they look good in they clothes, but they messed up in their soul.
Messed up on the inside.
So it's like, you know, anybody can put on that show, like you were saying. Right. But again, I own the fact that I didn't listen. And although I don't regret that relationship, because if I wouldn't have had that relationship, y'all wouldn't see me on here. Yeah. Because I would not be on social. I'm being honest. I wouldn't be on social media. I wouldn't have written another book. You know, I wouldn't have started She's Worthy. I wouldn't have all the things that I have now stemmed from that low place in my life and that
Wow.
breakup.
Wow. It's crazy because God was just speaking to me about that. Being in a depressed state, in a low state, you are literally at a place. If you look at a well, the water comes underground. From the underground, you literally right there at that place of being watered, and that place of finding, who you are. You at that place of getting fed and getting fed and getting fed. So it's okay to be at that low place, because purpose come out of that low place. Things come out of that low place. So if you at a low place, or a place of depression, or a place, look deep down within. You have so much that could come out of that low place. As she said, she had a couple of businesses that came out of that particular low place, that breakup. And so that's just, it does something, because we want to stay in, a lot of people want to stay in a low place and want us to feel sorry, or want us feel sorry for ourselves, or want people to feel sorry for us. But it's so much that comes out of the low place. That's another lesson.
Yes.
But we're going to keep it moving. So y'all broke up. And I know you said some other stuff came out of this. Can you kind of speak about that? Give us some more on what came out of you being in this particular low place.
So I didn't know how, I'm just being honest, I didn't know how good of a writer I was. I had already written a book before, but that book, Just Walk Away, that book was from my soul. I wrote that book in 30 days. In a low place, in a depressed state. I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know that I would be where I am. Because if I was still with that person, I don't believe I would be as successful as I am right now. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, is that sometimes when you yoke up with certain people, it's not, that person is all motivation, right? Like they're a great person, all that good stuff. But sometimes they're not your, like, how can I say it? They're not the partner that helps you move forward. And that's what it was, because of their own insecurities, because of the things they go through. So sometimes people can manipulate you and make you downplay yourself.
Exactly.
And what you have and what you can do. And you have to choose to be with someone who is going to push you further than you ever imagined you could go, and believe in you when you don't even know that you can do something.
Right.
So that was one thing that winded up flourishing, was myself as a whole. And then I also didn't know, like, some of the toxicity that I shared, that like I had too, was from my own, like, okay, so I would have never found this book. It's called Why We Pick the Mates We Do. Anyone, if you're single and thinking about getting married, or you're already married, engaged, whatever, I recommend that book. It's called Why We Pick the Mates We Do. And it's a book, it's a book dealing, I can give it to you. It's a book dealing with like the psychology of relationships, and how your parents are your first teachers of relationships. And I did not, and I'll be completely honest, transparent. My parents, well, my father is deceased, but my mother, we talk about this all the time. They did not give me the proper example of a marriage. And so for me, psychologically, when I was in that relationship, a lot of the things that I felt towards my dad came out towards him.
Wow, y'all heard that?
So, like, for example, like, we as women, we go towards our dads. That's honestly, our dads are like our first boyfriend. They have to show us what it looks like to be loved, cared for, protected, honored, cherished. And then vice versa, how the men and the mom, well, not men, but the young men and their mom, like, they have to learn that relationship, what to look for in a woman, you know, how they're supposed to treat that woman, all those things. And I didn't get that. Number one, my father and mother's marriage was not as sturdy. And I'm not going to get into all that, but it wasn't. On top of that, my father passed away. And I never had a strong, dominant male figure in my life consistently. I never had that. And so even now in my own relationship, my boyfriend and I, we talk about that all the time. And it's like, I have to continue to work on myself, and he does too, because he has trauma from his, you know, parents and things like that. But that's another thing I wouldn't have found out. And so through reading that book, I'm glad you can relate, Shanika. And through reading that book, it truly opened my eyes that the man that I picked, my ex-fiance, was just like my dad.
Wow.
So basically, I was getting ready to marry the dad that I didn't want to marry.
You didn't want to.
But I would have never found that out. And then I started sharing this with my mom, and she was like, oh my gosh. And then what's crazy is that she experienced the same thing with my dad.
Wow.
And we were watching, she was watching Alanya Van Zandt, Alanya Fix My Life. Well, if that's how you say her name, and I don't think she fixes anybody's life. But
just so we're clear.
So we're clear. But she was telling someone that, like, 20 minutes later, after I expressed that to my mom, that came on. And they were saying the same thing. So that was like confirmation through TV. And I don't even watch TV like that. But it was crazy how it happened.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, I wouldn't have known that. I wouldn't have understood what I needed to do and how I needed to choose a better mate. We're responsible for choosing our mates. As much as I would love to be like, well, he broke my heart. He did this. No, Jasmine chose this life.
Yeah.
She chose that.
Exactly.
And I have to, guess what? Get better.
Get better.
So that I can choose. And, I mean, of course, I know you have other questions, but I do want to share this.
Keep going.
About attraction. So, if you want somebody better, you gotta be better.
You got to be better.
If you're not better on the inside, how are you going to attract a better person? And it's like, for all the people that say, oh, there ain't no good men out there, are you a good woman? I just want to know.
Can y'all turn y'all volumes up?
Like,
are y'all hearing this?
Yes, like, I want to know, you know, if you're a good woman. Are you Proverbs 31? Or are you, I mean, I like the Hot Girl Summer song a little bit. You know, I like the beat. Let me say, like, I like the beat. But, like, are you trying to be a hot girl, but you want a husband?
But you want to, right.
It don't work. Like, it doesn't work. You have to make sure that you're stepping in that. You got to make sure you're getting better and applying the word of God to your real life and not to your church life. Because it's two different things. You know, and I really want to leave that comment. Oh, you going to sleep? Okay.
Yes, it is going to be up. It is going to be up. A lot of people do need to hear this because we attract who we are.
Yes.
We attract who we are. If you are messed up on the inside and you expecting to receive or get somebody that's up here, it's not going to happen until we look on the inside. It's like a mirror. You know, you have to fix what's on the inside of you in order to get, you know, what you're looking for. And so I like that you said it was so much good stuff, y'all. It was so much good stuff in just that little bit. And we lead in as basically God leads, because somebody needs to hear that. Somebody who's going to be listening to the replay needed to hear that. It is good people out there. Once you start being a good person, you're going to see good. It's just like how we were saying before about your eyes start opening up to more people and more things. You know, and so... Ooh, y'all, this is good. This is actually the truth, though. This is true speaking. And we know that came after, out of the breakup, you with your businesses and different stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And did the guy ever try to come back? Did y'all ever think about getting back together? I know you probably wasn't fully healed or whole, but did y'all ever try to get back together?
2 years later.
Did he try to come back to you?
Woo, you asking some juicy questions. Yes, but it didn't work.
So the thing about that is, I just did something tonight, and the last part of it was, your past will always try to call you back. Mm-hmm. The question is, will you answer or will you ignore the call?
Mm-hmm.
And so, no matter how good we're trying to do on the road that we're trying to be on,
yeah,
that past and the things that are not good for us always try to get us to come back and visit them and stay with them.
Yeah.
Not only visit, but stay.
But it's like, when you popping and God is just moving, it's attractive.
It's attractive.
And they're going to try to come back. They're going to try and, see what they can get out of it. But, I had just changed so much. I was just, she laughing. But for real, it's for real.
It's for real.
But it's like, they see that and they want that. That's who you've become, and it's like, wow, I kind of want to see what's going on. I'm just peeking here. I ain't gonna really stay. I ain't gonna really do that. I'm just, look. And it's just like, at that point and at that time, it was like, no. No. Of course, you always have love for people that you love, but that's it.
Right.
Bye. Go away.
Deuces.
I can't anymore. I need to move forward. And I know that I want to become more. I've already had you. Mm-hmm. You ain't work. You
didn't work.
Just keep going. And don't get me wrong, there are some people who can go back and fix that relationship.
Yeah.
But that's not for everyone. And for me, I know in my heart of hearts that is not for me. I know that there is better, and if I just open myself up to opportunities, and I'm in a really good, healthy relationship now, if I just continue to keep myself open, and try to be the best version of myself, and that person is too, it's gonna work out. That's the best bet for me. Because looking back is not going to pull you forward.
Yeah. It's definitely not going to pull you forward. This conversation is so good so far, you all. If you missed the first part, just go back and watch the first part, because it's really good.
I definitely wanted to speak more about the healing.
Go ahead. After y'all broke up, how did you heal? You got the book. The book is Just Walk Away. She did write the book, Just Walk Away. The link is in the description. But she's going to do a giveaway at the end for her book. But she talks about the process of after the breakup and the stages. So if you could tell us about that and focus on the healing part as well.
Okay, y'all. It's a lot. I really did a lot of personal development. If you are at a low place in your life, you need to be okay with doing personal development. I'm going to tell y'all right now, I was not on social media during that time. Because let me tell you, first of all, let's just talk about that. When you're going through a rough time, especially a breakup, do you know how many people you're going to see happy on social media with their boo? It's going to be a lot of people. And it wasn't that I had a jealous spirit. I was hurt. I was hurt because I was just with my man, and now we ain't together, and I get to see, Sally from across the street, oh, we're getting married, or we just had our wedding.
All booed up.
I don't want to see that. I'm sorry. Like, I
Right.
wasn't there. And so that was the first thing. I made sure that I got off social media so that I could just truly just be to myself and just heal, because I couldn't, deal with that. And so once I got off social media, I took my life and my time to get into God more.
Yeah.
And I prayed like crazy. Like a lot of prayers. Like so many prayers that it was just like prayers for healing for myself. And I prayed for that person. That was another part of it. And a lot of people like, why would you? I did. Because when you can bless someone who hurts you, you know you're a real one.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know you're a real one. If you have hate in your heart, if you have malice, that you're not going to heal. You're always going to find yourself trying to figure out, like, how can I get back at them?
Right,
Or,
right.
oh, I hope God does that. Okay, first of all, that's witchcraft. And I'm not participating in any
Right.
of that. Like, I want them to go on and have a good life and, enjoy themselves. So in my prayers, I definitely, mention them, but also mention myself. And I was hopeful for my future, because I knew, like, a lot of people, when they go through breakups, they're like, well, I guess marriage isn't for me. I guess I'm just gonna be all alone. That's
not true.
True. That's not true. God has a plan.
That's simply a detour or a roadblock.
Yeah.
You just all looked into what I was talking about tonight.
Really? Yeah. It's so crazy because a lot of people get so down and they're like, no, I'm never gonna be with anyone. No, I was like, oh, my man coming.
He coming.
Like, he's coming. It's coming for me. And so what I did, another thing, so I'm gonna be dropping like different tips and different things, is I made affirmations. Like, my phone is right here. Like, I literally typed out affirmations, and I would love to read some of them. And it's so crazy because my now boyfriend has a lot of these traits. Because I spoke life.
So while she's getting her affirmations, if you heard that prayer works. Prayer works. If you feeling like, down, pray. Try God. Pray for you. Pray for that other person. Don't be praying nothing bad now, but pray good things for that person. And also, as she said about her affirmations, she was speaking stuff. It is power in your words. Mm-hmm. It's definitely power in your words. You have the ability to speak life, and you have the ability to speak death, but you have to choose which one you are going to speak. So, what are some of the affirmations?
Yeah, so when I was writing these out, this was right when I found that book, Why We Pick the Mates We Do. And the key was to see if I did these things now. Now, you can't go around speaking stuff and you ain't acting like what you speaking.
Uh-oh.
Like, you can't, like, that doesn't work. You have to be a match. For whatever you want, you have to become a match. So I was saying, okay, yeah, I'm talking about all these things I want for my husband.
Come on.
But if I'm not that, how he gonna find me? Because I don't look like him. I gotta look like him. I gotta speak like him. I gotta think like him. How else is he going to find me?
I feel like we gotta do another live. That's the thing. Your soulmate. This is about her, because it's like, you have to look like that person.
Mm-hmm.
When the reel was coming out of the app, I'm not even gonna
go say it.
It's like when, the reel was coming out, of Adam. It was him.
Mm-hmm.
It was him.
Literally.
Him. And so if he didn't know who he was, and he wouldn't have been able to see her,
mm-hmm.
basically, if he didn't know who he was, because she would look just like him.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to work on us,
yes,
and we have to look like what we want, so we can recognize who our spouse is.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't see us and see what we want to be or who God created us to be,
right,
we're definitely not going to see our spouses.
No, no. And that's why I was like, that's the key. Like, before I write all this down, let me make sure that I reflect this.
When did you write this?
So I wrote this January 7th, 2017 at 7:48 a.m.
2017. So
yeah, I'm gonna read some of them. Okay, I said, I will be with someone who genuinely loves me through words, actions, and thoughts. I will be with someone who loves me as much as I love myself. I will be with someone who values me as a person. I will be with someone who invests in me. I will be with someone who feeds my mind. I will be with someone who shares commonalities with me. I will be with someone who desires and actively spends time with me. I will be with someone who will be an amazing friend and husband to me and an awesome father to our children. I will be with someone who actively spends time with our family. I will be with someone who values time together as a family. I will be with someone who has a strong relationship with God. I will be with someone who will minister to himself, me, and our children daily. I will not, this is personal, I ain't gonna read that one. I will, and this is just an affectionate one. I will attract someone who will desire and love to cuddle, kiss, and touch me for no apparent reason other than that they love me. I will attract someone who is committed to me and our family. I will attract someone who will not give up on me or our family when times get tough. I will attract someone who considers my feelings, thoughts, and desires despite what they want. I will attract someone who believes in the power of unity. I will attract someone who will not leave me spiritually, emotionally, mentally, or physically. I will attract someone who I have commonalities with: faith, family, and finances. I will be with someone whose purpose aligns with mine to educate the world. I will have children who will empower the world through the Word of God. My children will go against the norm of society. My husband and I will raise our children to fear God, and they will have a solid relationship with God. My husband and I will not argue. We will have calm conversations about what is truly bothering us and what would help us to progress. My husband and I will build an empire that will change the lives of our children and everyone we encounter.
Those are some good affirmations. Catch the replay. I will be leaving this up. Catch the replay if you would like to just speak those affirmations right now, wherever you are, because I believe there's power in your words. Just say what you will have. If you have experienced a breakup, if you have experienced hurt, I see someone said they literally just had their heart crushed a week ago and still in shock. In her book, she did do the shock stage. I believe that was in chapter 2, and she said she blamed herself and was down. She needed to see this, but declare what you would have. Declare what you would have. Speak what you will have. Stop speaking about what happened in the past. We understand that we all have a past. Things happen, but speak what you will have and you will see it. But like she said, we have to speak it, but also live up to it. Start walking in that. And so I like that you have affirmations and speaking it. And 2 years ago, now you're actually seeing what you have spoken. So the words never disappeared. The words never died. They actually are catching up now. Well, she's catching up. It's catching up with where we at now. But that is good.
I did want to touch on something about like affirmations and how they can use them and make them. So I do this with everything now. Like everything, anything that I want to see unfold in my life, I make affirmations. The best thing to do is I actually have a recording of this, of me saying them. Because when you listen to your voice, you are 100 times more likely to trust it. And you start to believe that it's true. And I would play this every morning. I probably haven't played it in like a year or two, but I would play it like every, morning, so that I could keep that in my mind. Like, okay, like Jasmine, are you working towards this? Are you becoming that? Are you being about family, faith, and finances? Are you working on being calm and not arguing and making sure that your tone is a beautiful tone? Are you having that gentle, quiet spirit? Are you doing all those things? And when I constantly heard it, it helped me to become that woman.
Wow.
It helped me to step, into it. And even, thinking about children and the things that I'm doing, like, my children, I don't even have children. I ain't even engaged, okay? I mean, I want to be, but I'm not yet, and I've already planted seeds. Right. I've already planted seeds, for my husband and I and things, and for my children. One of my businesses is just for my kids to have play money. So I'm walking forward in those things. I'm going to be engaged. Maybe by the end of this year. We ain't had that conversation, but it's probably gonna happen.
So because you spoke it, be it unto you.
Literally. But use those affirmations to pull you forward and to encourage you. To encourage you, because a lot of people, like, yes, that may have happened to me in a negative way, and it was hard. It was so hard, but all I could do was just focus on my future and know and believe that all that good, and that's another thing. If you put a lot into your relationship, I know it may discourage you because you're like, I put all this into this person. I love so hard. Whether you have been in a breakup, like a relationship breakup, some of you guys I know maybe have been in a divorce, separated, and you think, man, like, when is God gonna bless me with this good relationship? When am I gonna receive the love that I've given to that person? When is God going to give that to me? Ooh. He gives it back in 100-fold. He gives it back in 100-fold. I truly believe that. Even when I know I wanted to let that truck go on the puncher train, I didn't. But in return, for me not taking negative steps, for me being loving, for me being the woman of God that I know I'm called to be, now I get to look in this relationship and see all the things I prayed for and all the things I wanted in that person. It comes back to you.
It comes back to you. It's a law.
It is a law.
It's definitely a law. You get, what goes around comes around. You reap what you sow. This is a law. It is going to happen. And so tonight, we never did it. I never did anything like this. But tonight, this will be homework for you all. Write down some affirmations. Write down what you want to see unfold in your life, whether it's this year, whether it's next year. Write down how she wrote her affirmations down and she spoke them. Write them down and also record them and replay them. Listen to them. And I promise you, your life will start to look like what you wrote and what you're speaking.
I truly feel called to do this. It's some people on this live, and I don't know everyone that's on the live, and even I know people who are going to watch the replay. Some of them are hurting. Deep hurt. And I want to pray for them.
Go ahead.
On the live.
Go ahead.
If anyone has any specific requests, and if you feel comfortable with sharing them out loud,
this is definitely about them and getting the help and the healing that they need.
I just feel it. Like, I don't know.
I feel it. I when you was talking, like, I'm feeling something like water. I do feel God. Upon this and upon this subject, and like you said, it could be somebody who's watching the replay. But she is going to pray for you. And you don't want everybody praying for you. No. But she's, you don't want everybody praying for you, but I most definitely trust her with praying, especially how speaking words and they actually coming to pass, not like years later, like a whole lot of time later, but like coming to pass like clockwork. Then, and so if you have your prayers or prayer requests, put them below, and you can finish. I want to go.
Oh yeah, I definitely would love to pray for you guys, and I'm just gonna start the prayer, and then individual things, if that's okay. If people comment while I'm praying, if they would, I could just go back and speak to them, if that's okay. All right. Dear Father God, thank you so much for this day, God. Thank you for this opportunity to be able to come onto this show and be able to share your word and your message, God. I thank you for great people in this world like Jerica, who are bold and brave and stepping forth into their calling, God. You have called us out from the deep, Lord, and you have us doing the work of your Son, God, and stretching ourselves forth and being the body of Christ that you've called us to be. God, I thank you so much for this opportunity, and I pray that you would just lift this TV show up, God. I pray that it would just go viral, God, that it would just expand all across the world, God, and that you would just lift up your people who decide to make a platform for you, God, to share your glory. God, I pray that everyone listening to this will just share this video, God, because we are speaking life and we are speaking healing, God, into your people. And I pray that you would just allow it to just expand, God, to increase, God, that you would increase our host and allow her to prosper, God, in every way that you would have for her, God. I speak abundance, Lord. I speak healing, health, good things, God, that come from you, that are gifts. God, I just want to take this moment to just pray for these people that are showing up on the live video, or God, if they are catching the replay. Lord, your people are hurt. Your people need your help, whether they are in a good relationship or not, God. Your people have been through some things that we cannot explain, God, and they need you, God. They need you to lift them up, God, and lift their eyes up unto the hills, God, where help comes up. Lord, help them just to lift up, God. Pull their spirits up, God. Pull them up to be able to see you and know, God, that you have not forgotten about them. To know that you are here for them, that you are there to protect them. And what didn't work out, where they were rejected, God, you protected them. God, I pray that you would just open up their eyes to see that you are there for them, that you are the healer, and that they would just come to you, God, humbly, God, and ready to receive your spirit of peace, your spirit of love to just take over them, God, to know that you are there for them, that you are the one who is in control of their destiny and their purpose and their plan. God, I pray that you would just help them to see a future, God, to cast a vision, to be able to be in a healthy, healed relationship, God, because you have that in the plan for us. If we desire something, God, it comes from you. Father, the word desire means from the Father, so that is from you. So if you have given this to us, God, you are going to bring us to it to pass. God, let us have faith. Let us be movers and shakers to know that you are going to give us divine relationships where that we can be with the person that you have called us to be. God, the be together as a family, and as we bring these families together as husband and wife, God, that we will bring forth generations of children who will go out into this world and do great things, God. Let us have the faith, even if it's just the size of a mustard seed, God. Let us have the faith to know that you will bring our relationships together. And God, even for those who are together, those who are married, God, Satan is out to break the families, to break the homes, because he knows when homes are together and in order and following your word, that we can be untouchable. No one can take that unit down. You created that unit for a reason. And God, I speak to those relationships, that you would just bind them together, God, like a 3-strand cord, where husband and wife and you are working all together, God. We call on you, God. We pray, God, that you would just allow us to have these good things on earth. Yes, God, we know that heaven is greater than on earth, but we can bring heaven down to earth. And God, I declare and decree right now in the mighty name of Jesus that you would bring down strength and relationships and in families. God, I speak healing over those people that are hurting, Lord, and let them know that you have a plan. God, we thank you for this time. We thank you for this opportunity, and we give you all the glory and all the honor and all the praise for everything that you are doing right now and you're going to do in the future. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Somebody just type in, I receive it.
Yes.
If you receive it, type in, I receive it. I know I receive it. The prayer on tonight. God is just, I seen like a pool, like as she was speaking, I actually seen right before you said look to the hills, I actually seen like a mountaintop a little bit. I mean, it was like 2 seconds before you said look to the hills. I seen like a mountaintop, but I also seen like a pool. God wants to, put you in the pool of peace. He wants to do that for you and bring forth healing to you and help you in that time of hurt. It's like he want to just dunk you down into this place of healing and pull you out so that you can be able to look up and look over all this stuff. And so if you receive it, if you receive that prayer on tonight, just say, I receive it. Also, you could go back and listen to the prayer. This is not just a one-time thing.
Right.
You could go back and listen to that prayer, and it will apply to your life that day that you listen to it. Because words never leave out the atmosphere.
Yes.
They never leave out the atmosphere until it's completed. And so if you have prayer requests, like she said, you can put them down below, and then she will just go individually or go back or talk to you. But just put it. We know that some people are hurting, some people are depressed, some people are going through because of breakups, because of financial situations, because of divorce, because of this problem, because of that problem. But that is the purpose of this show, to let you know that people have went through this, and there is still hope for you. There's still people out there to help you. There's still people out there to encourage you and let you know that everything is going to be okay. And also, not just that, but give you steps and tools to get out of that situation that you are going through and that you are in. And so this is about transparency, but this is also about you tonight. This is about you who listen in on every Thursday, and letting you know that God literally have you in mind. He have you in mind. He know that you may have went through a breakup, or that you may go through a breakup. So this video is with you in mind tonight. This video is to help you. She went through some things tonight to help each and every one of us. We all can learn from it. We all can learn from it and take some stuff from it. So this is with you in mind. And I know we coming up to a close, but in your book, can you just go down through the steps to help these people if they have a breakup or have been through a breakup and want to get through that process? Can you just go down the steps of being healed? Any type of way to help them?
Yes, let me pull it up on my phone. What a lot of people don't know is, yes, I did write the book, within 30 days, but I came up with the chapters in the salon chair because I was just so hurt, during that time. And I had to just write out the chapters as I was getting my hair done. God just dropped it in my heart, and I was like, I need to write this down. Like, I know that this is what people really just need to hear. I knew that so many people were hurting. So let me pull that up. Give me one
Yes. And no matter if you're going through a breakup or if you have been through a breakup and you still feeling that hurt on the inside, I want to let you know that there is purpose in that. You can find purpose in that. Some good can come out of that. Don't think it was just bad. It's a temporary feeling of hurt, but good can actually come out of a breakup. How can I say that? Because I know I done went through two. One of them, my first one was bad, and the second one was because of me. I ended it. But at the end of the day, purpose does come out of it. You can also find out who you are in that time. And so,
yes, okay, it's so funny to just see it, to look at what it started off, because it's right now it looks more full, but it was literally just this.
wow.
Just the titles, you know, of the chapter. But I'll kind of go through each one, and of course, like Jerica said, the link to purchase the book is in the description above, and you can definitely go and purchase it. And I am going to give one away to someone who was very engaged and commented. So you guys have time, if you want to win it, make sure you share the video, and you need to comment and engage. And even those, I actually won't, is it okay if I wait to give it away, like maybe tomorrow,
yeah, we
so
usually
people
do
can,
giveaways on Friday.
okay, just so people can come back and watch the replay for those who couldn't make it.
Yes.
So first off, when you're dealing with a breakup or heartbreak, it's gonna be a ripping. So that's chapter 1. It's all talking about what it's like to basically have your heart ripped out your chest, because that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
It's like the life has been sucked out of you. I had never experienced that feeling before. It's like, what? And like, that's the thing. This was the first relationship where I was truly in love.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just like oh, I love you. No, I was in love, and that stuff hurts.
Yeah.
Like, it hurts. And once you get through that ripping part, it's gonna be a shock, and that's chapter 2. I talk about the shock. Like, I really thought I was in a dream. Like, every night when I would go to sleep, I would just hope, like, okay, I'm gonna wake up and this is all gonna be like fake. Like, he's gonna come to his senses. You know, it's gonna. No, he didn't. No.
Wow.
He did not come to his senses. So it was a complete, you know, shock, and I just didn't know that that person, you know, acted like that. I didn't know that this situation would happen. So then, once you get past that shocking part, you're gonna have a need for understanding. You're gonna want to understand, like, why?
Closing.
Like, why, God? Why did this happen? Let me go talk to this person. Let me see what they say. Let me, you know, you start dabbling because you're trying to understand You don't get it, and so I talk you through that. The next part is reflection and thinking about, okay, what happened? What did I do? Why didn't it work? Not blaming yourself, but doing it from an objective point of view. Right. And that's when you start to take that accountability for your actions and for the things that you did. Because, again, like I said, it's no matter how, there's my boyfriend, no matter how much you might think, like, oh, you know, it's their fault, you know, I didn't do nothing. We might have done something. Maybe it was a subconscious thing. Right. An internal reaction. So you have to make sure that you're open during that reflection time. The 5th chapter is dealing with the healing. Once you start that reflection, you start healing, because you're starting to understand yourself and know what role you play in it. So your heart is starting to open, and you can actually start to heal from it and say, you know what? This is what I did. This is what, you know, they did. And this is what I'm going to do to move forward. Yes. So that I can heal. The sixth chapter is dealing with revealing. And I truly believe that over time, God will start to reveal things to you that you could not see.
Right.
When people say like hindsight is 2020, oh yeah, it's like really, really 2020, and you start to say like, okay, I was obedient in this, or I didn't listen to my intuition, my gut. I played, I just played into what they wanted, or I did this, or I did that. You can kind of start to see that and see why God allowed you to go through that. Because yes, God gave me signs, but I still went, through that situation. But if I hadn't, I'm telling you, I would not be where I am today. So I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
And then the seventh chapter is dealing with elevation. And you start to like evolve into this person, and you find your success coming up so quickly. Like we were talking about, being in that low place. There are peaks and there are valleys and all those things. And when you're in that peak, not the peak, when you're in the valley, you're like coming up. You're coming up to a peak, and you can start to see like, wow, like this is amazing. And I felt that way with my own like business, because it like literally took off. Even during this rough time, I was still elevating. And in chapter 8, that this is the direction. So God starts to reveal to you direction. What's your next best move? What should you be doing? A lot of people, when they're still in the healing stage, they're trying to run around
and do
everything. I'm gonna go get me a new boo. I'm gonna go swipe right. Okay, that's not probably the best thing for you to do. Like, you might want to not do that. You might want to just take a season where you're like, no.
Right.
Like, just give me my space, my time for my healing, and God will show you that right direction and what's good for you and your life. And then the final chapter is dealing with purpose.
Yes.
And that purpose of, you went through this because of this. Now let me show you your manifested purpose and your destiny and where you're headed after this experience, because all of our experiences shape us and they make us into something greater than who we were before. So taking that time to know that purpose and to really just dive into it, it expands you. It expands you in such a way. Like, I never thought that I would be where I am. Like, this happened years ago, but I'm just sitting here looking, I'm like, wow, like, I never thought. I had no clue that I would even, like, I knew that I would start that one business, but I didn't think it would happen until I was like 40.
Yeah.
Like, I just really didn't know that all this would come from that. And so that's why I'm just like looking, because I'm like, wow. Wow.
Y'all, this was really, really, really good. If you missed it, go back and watch the replay. Also, let somebody know that we was on tonight. I'm pretty sure everybody done went through some type of breakup. But we talked about some good things on tonight. I'm here with Jasmine Thomas. Her book, Just Walk Away, is in the description. Also, tomorrow we will be doing a giveaway. It will be for her book. So you want to be engaging, also sharing the video so you can be in to win this book. And so, do you have any last words for anybody that is on?
One of my biggest things that I would say, whatever you are experiencing in the heartbreak area, just take your time and heal. Healing is not linear. I would love for healing to be this straight shot, one and done. I ain't gotta never deal with this before. But it is honestly up, down, like, and you do progress, but then there are other things that happen to you, and you want to take your healing emotionally, mentally, physically, all of those things, you want to take it seriously, because what I've seen is a lot of people jump from place to place, like if they're hurting with heartbreak, or they may jump from job to job, or relationship to relationship, they're always just jumping around instead of fixing the root. And I just really encourage people to fix the root, because before you get the fruit, you have to have a root.
You have to.
And you want to make sure that you are grounded and that you are, I'm not going to say perfect, because you're not going to be perfect. Nobody will ever be perfect. But you have healed yourself to a point to where you can enjoy the good. Because I did mention that a lot of times people have met good people, that because they were not healed, they pushed away good people.
That is a word.
I cannot tell you how many people I know who are friends, you know, classmates, like all these different things, that they have experienced good people, but they were just so broken that they couldn't enjoy the relationship. They couldn't just stay in it and be happy and be fulfilled, because they were so messed up on the inside. So don't miss out on your blessing of a beautiful, healthy relationship. I don't care if you're 25 or 75. You can be in a relationship. Like, there's someone out there for you. And I always think about this. There are 7-point-something billion people in this world. So almost 8 billion people. Why wouldn't God have one for you?
Right.
Like, why wouldn't there be one person that matches with you? So get healed, stay hopeful, and know that it is coming to you. And just really have that faith to go forth. And God gave you that desire for a reason. And if you have that desire, He's going to bring it to pass.
Y'all have it. That was the end. We just gonna cut it off like that. But this was actually a great show tonight here with Jasmine Thomas, new last name. And make sure you go back, watch the replay, and tune in next Thursday. And I would love to see you all next Thursday. Also, let us know your big takeaways at the after this. Let us know your takeaways, what you enjoyed about this live video. And we will see you later. Y'all have a great night.